Hello, and welcome to Question Marks. I am your host for today, Brady Stuhmer, and today we are talking about deprivation. Who are we here with?
Me.
Grayson.
I'm Grayson. I'm here. And deprived.
I'm also deprived, but I'm hopefully deprived.
That is...
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, way to one-up me real quick there.
I am Addyson, probably also deprived of something.
Very successful episode today, as you can tell. We talked about so much.
I'm Rob, and I'm not necessarily deprived because I have great kids.
All right.
1 point.
He just wants a good Christmas
Hello?
gift.
Is not paying attention.
Anybody else?
Oh, sorry. I was sleeping. What? I'm Kahm. Good episode today. Yep.
All righty. Well, I'm not going to deprive you of a bad ending, so I love you. Goodbye. All right. I think it's the first time hosting. I got this.
You got it.
So, here's question number one. So this question is influenced by the lack of sleep I've had recently while taking care of a 2-month-old. So I have learned recently when I am sleep deprived, I become grumpy or extremely silly, and there's no in between. So question number one for today is, how would you describe your sleep deprived self? And to corroborate it, do you think your friends or significant other would agree? My wife would 100% say more grumpy now for me. I used to be extremely silly, but I found a new level of sleep deprived recently that has put a more grumpy Brady out in the world. So,
Oh, I'm on level 1 where I'm silly still, but like that's if I stay up really late. If I'm like hadn't slept, so I'm pretty grumpy the next day, I suppose. Mostly just quiet and cynical. I don't know if that's still the same thing as grumpy.
That's like a day-to-day.
So yeah, like,
Cam sees me every day. He knows.
you're living sleep deprived.
Yeah, what's that like? No, yeah, I get the sleepover silly. I think we talked about it last week. My
Yeah.
friends would agree that like you're up at like 2 a.m. That's when the funniest stuff happens, but stuff you probably don't want to be accountable for at the same time.
yeah.
So I call that the sleepover sillies. I'll stick with that one.
I like the sleepover silly. So you've got a different late night silliness sleep, but more early morning, it's more grumpy?
Yeah, the
Or
morning's
more cynical.
never good.
More cynical in the morning.
I'm just cynical.
the sun is up, my cynicism is
sun.
up.
Yeah, the sun waking me up and stuff. Stupid. So that's me.
Oh, what do we got?
I feel that. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster kind of with my sleep deprivation and how I'm acting. So it depends on how sleep deprived I am. Like if it's getting to be kind of late, like 1, 2 a.m., then some kind of grumpiness kind of starts a little bit. But if
Yeah.
it pushes to like 3, 4, silliness galore.
Yes.
Wow, I'm rhyming.
That was awesome.
that was really
Bars.
okay. Well,
Back in my blue piece era.
I am back in my blue piece era. This is starting it. Anyways, but I do feel like I then return to grumpy if it's been like an entire 24 hours of me without sleep. Like that entire next day, I'll be like, don't talk to me. I cannot process anything.
Yeah.
My brain is shut off. And I don't think I'm mean necessarily. I think I'm just, you can tell that something's off.
Yeah.
You know?
Why'd you
Yeah.
go 24 hours without sleep? When have you done that last?
I don't know the last time specifically I've done it, but I know in college I had to do it quite a bit in terms
Yeah.
of procrastination and writing papers.
I had to do it.
I understand.
I was forced.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
We all have
Had
been
to.
there, all right?
Yep.
And I did well on the paper, so that's all that matters.
Oh,
Hey.
Heck yeah.
Addison?
it starts really good, and we're happy, we're having a good time, and then it gets really emotional, and I start
Oh.
crying.
Oh,
Like
sad.
sad?
No, just like laughing so hard, there's tears, but then they just keep coming.
So we're good. We're funny,
Yep.
happy, laughing, crying, and it never takes a turn towards these tears are now sad tears, or does it progressively make its way down?
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
but not often. Usually it's
Oh.
just a good, silly, laughing cry fest.
I am jealous.
Not being able to stop crying would be like being tickled constantly.
Yeah.
Just a torture.
Yeah, a persistent hell.
Well, that's if I'm staying up late. If I just have not slept well, then I'm just cranky.
Gotcha.
It's like the same side of being hangry, you know?
Yeah. Is there a
Just-
difference between cranky and grumpy?
No.
No, same old, same old.
Yes. I think they are synonyms.
Crunky.
Crunky.
No, that's a sweet dancer. Yep. Hope's doing it for the people watching on YouTube.
I don't
Wow.
think that was it either.
It's a seated crump.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. I
For
can
Just making
literal
up new
terms,
dance
it is
moves
crunky.
every single week now.
I think so,
Yes.
yeah.
I think that might be my thing.
Get my
Jiggle-
notes out.
Jiggle Pants Dance was last
Pants
week.
dance and
Yeah.
getting crunky.
We did crunky. Crunky?
Crunky.
Key or pee?
What?
Crumpy?
Crumpy?
Crunky.
Crunky.
Crunk.
Walter
Okay.
Cronkite.
I
All
still
right,
feel
Rob.
like that.
Nice segue.
Like funky, but crunk.
Yes.
There you go.
With
We're
a
back.
C.
So define for me, what is sleep deprivation to you? How many hours of sleep you
For me,
should you
if I
normally
am
get?
functioning on in a 24-hour period of time less than 3 hours of sleep, I'm going to call that sleep deprived.
I got it.
3?
What's normal?
yes.
What's normal for you?
For me, 6. 6.
Okay.
I can roll
6?
real easily on 6.
6 is a normal time.
I need at least 8 to 9.
Really?
We got to
Yes.
rehydrate after all the crying, apparently.
You wouldn't understand. There's a lot to unpack.
Wow. Yeah, because I'm like a probably 5'6" kind of guy,
Yes.
normal. Just so sleep deprivation. I think I'm probably I must be living in that era, for the last 25, 30 years. Probably started with kids.
Yeah, a young but seasoned
Oh,
veteran.
yeah.
Yeah,
Victim
blaming
blame.
throwing it on you guys. Yeah.
You asked for that.
You chose this life.
That's true. I made that happen partially. Yeah,
Let's not talk about that part.
I don't like getting into those details.
doing the jiggle pants dance.
Whoa!
I don't,
Whoa.
Mom, defend us.
So sleep for me, if I would when it finally catches up to me, I just kind of act normally. You just kind of compartmentalize it. I'm tired, and you try not to be nasty or snippy to other people around you, but you can't help be that way.
Yeah.
For me, all of a sudden it'll just catch up, and I'll just stop and fall asleep.
Yeah.
Right, and usually I try to do that on the weekends and not when I'm driving to work. And so it's like you try to
Do what you can.
do what you can.
Don't fall asleep at the wheel.
Exactly. And so I'll just because famously I'll stay up till like 3 or 4 in the morning. I was up until 4 this morning. Then I got up at just a little before 8. So it's just. I mean, that's just the day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it'll catch up to me, and it'll be like, wow, I'll fall asleep on the sofa. And we call it the life stealer anymore. And you put a nice warm blanket on, and then
Game over.
2 hours later, you're like, what happened to Saturday afternoon? And
And
that's
it doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a conversation with him.
I was about to say the same thing.
It does
Invite
not
me over
matter
for
if
an
he's
event.
actively engaged in anything. It'll just happen.
You just stop getting
You're just like,
responses.
oh, like you're not even looking at him necessarily. It just all of a sudden becomes more quiet in the corner of the room, and you're like, "What's going on?" And then he's just out, completely out.
it doesn't mean I'm not interested in what you're saying. It just means
Sleeping is the universal sign of that. That's really what that means.
no, it's not. Nature just took over and shut down and said you need to reboot. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. It just I don't think I have any. I probably do have some kind of mood changes, but not. I try to keep it to a limit.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it just hits me. So
But
Yeah.
isn't it fun, Hope, to watch him partially wake up?
Oh, for sure.
Every, 15 minutes,
He'll
he'll,
act
open
like
his
he
eyes
was
and
part of the
nod.
conversation. He's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about for sure. We're on a completely different conversation because we moved that quick, and he just.
But he's
yeah,
back to
it's-
sleep. And
He's
quick, yeah. It's just
who's
fun.
not like that though? I mean, everybody's like that, right?
I don't know if I can fall asleep in the middle of social interaction like that. I don't know.
That's got to be natural, right? Everybody.
I think to a point, yes. And I think that just is a testament that you need to sleep more.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is an intervention. I didn't know
Welcome
what
to
this
your
was.
intervention.
Yeah.
What a big joke this has been. Rob didn't even talk about sleep.
Got you.
Yeah.
So I think Cam's here.
I think so too. Cam, what do we got?
I am here. Is that light flickering?
It is
Yes.
a little bit.
Okay, I was like, am I like falling asleep here?
Yes.
Just, am I
Sleep
nodding
deprivation,
off?
yes.
What's going on here? All right, I'll fix that here in a minute.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Sorry, squirrel.
What's the question?
There it is. Season 1.
Are you? How would you describe your sleep deprived self?
Yes. Goofy. I'm a goofball for sure. But if I do get to sleep, and then if I am disturbed, which I always am, because I'm a snorer, I'm a flopper. I'm a mess to sleep with. I'm not sure how Carla
What
deals
you're
with
doing
it.
is Steve Miller's song. I'm a snorer. I'm a flopper.
I'm a midnight toker. But yeah, so she'll just be like, I'll start snoring. She'll just like elbow me, and I'll like, what? And then she'll pretend like she's asleep. Like she didn't do it.
yes.
And I'm like, oh, did I wake myself up sleeping? Or is that the part of the mind games where I actually did wake myself up and I think she elbowed me?
So she's gaslighting you.
I don't know. So then I'll be like, right, I'm going to the couch. Then I'm just upset going to the couch.
Oh, yes.
But that's really whenever I get woken up and I'm just like, I don't get it. I'm scared. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to the couch. It's a safe space. But that's I'm being just a goofball, I guess. Until I get awoken. And then it's like, all right, somebody's gonna pay. Who did it?
Is it your cats?
No. Well, sometimes they'll like bite your toes. Like, hey, I'm hungry. 6 a.m., buddy. Food time. Like,
Nice.
all right, cool. Let's go do that.
Have you ever accidentally kicked one of them?
I do gently kick them. Like,
get off?
I'll like roll and I'll just drag my leg, knowing that they're in the way. Like I'm not booting them, but I'm just like, and you're going over there now. I got a long leg, so I just put them over there, pretty much. So,
Is that when their teeth are still attached to your toes?
yeah. Like, okay. I'm awake.
Just like the visual there.
So today, as we can kind of see, because we have a video feed now, we do not have Brandy, and we have Addyson. But I did not want to leave Brandy out. So whenever I learned that Brandy was going to be gone, I worked on an artificial intelligence voice modulator to allow Brandy to join in the conversation. So,
Oh no.
ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you, Brandy Bot. A second here to get it all figured out. All right, so sorry, give me a second to see if I got it up and working.
You didn't have it?
Hey, Brandy, how are you? Oh, that is. I'm still working out the kinks on that one. Alrighty, so
She's not even here to defend herself.
oh, yeah,
Nice.
that
Brandy,
is.
no.
We're gonna need a lot of work on that. So we'll put Brandy back. We'll put Brandy Bot in the back for now. So today we are talking about deprivation. So deprivation has two different types of basic definitions. So the first one being the damaging lack of material benefits considered to be basic necessities in society, and the other one being the lack or denial of something considered to be a necessity. So I'm going to touch on both of those topics today as we go through the questions. It's kind of fun. Okay. So the first one being a little pop culture for us. Recently, 700,000 AT&T customers lost use of all their cell phones due to a major error. In response to this, which I think is absolutely hilarious, multiple people realized that 911 might not be working for them. Mm-hmm. So to make sure it was working for them, they all called 911 to see if it worked, flooding call centers.
Call centers?
Yeah, like call centers. Yeah. So, question here, because I think...
There's a question in here?
There is a question here, believe it or not.
He had to stall so I could get back to my chair.
Exactly.
He made it up.
Would you consider a cell phone a necessity in your life? And if not, how long have you went without use of your cell phone?
I think I can go first.
Yeah.
It's a necessity for my work. Mm-hmm. I went approximately 20 years without one. No, 25 years.
Yeah.
My beginning 25 years.
Boo.
Boo. Yeah. I think it actually in today's society, it's almost, if you're still, how do I put this nice way? If you still want to interact with people on a consistent basis throughout the day, I think it is a necessity because that's how people discuss what.
What was the mean way of saying that?
Well, if you say, if you're like, well, if you just want to be a hermit or you don't care anymore, you're just like, leave me alone, you stay in the house by yourself, But if you still want to interact and if you have kids, you're trying to, you're trying to make plans and for your calendars and all that kind of stuff, it is a necessity.
Yeah.
So, anymore, like at work, for example, we were just talking about this the other day. So if we do a story with somebody or a program, and they will say, they used to say, can I get a copy of that? Mm-hmm. Like it used to be a VHS, and then it was a, DVD. Yeah. Could you burn me that? And and some people still do. They still say, can you give me a copy of that? And I say, it's much better. I can get you a link to it. We'll put it online. I'll send you the link, and that's a quicker way to send it to your family. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, okay, thank you.
And then you get the clicks too.
And then Yeah, but it's almost like we invented the internet.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you can do this wild thing.
One
but-
link, huh?
Yeah,
Cool.
it's neat. So it is relevant or a necessity, I guess.
Yeah.
In that case,
In a roundabout way, just for work life, everything.
mainly. I mean,
Most of work.
my dream is that after I get done working and retire, I can just stand at the river and throw my phone into it.
Yeah.
You know, but
Clothed, right? Don't need. I just need to
My
ask
phone?
you. Yeah, your phone. I've heard about some of his retirement plans.
Okay,
We're
all
talking.
right, yeah. I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah, no, it comes
That is out
from
of the
repressed
blue.
trauma. We're talking long hair and an earring potentially. So stay
Yes.
tuned.
Nice.
yeah, there's counseling involved.
There's always counseling.
Always counseling.
Cam, what do you got for us?
Again, sorry.
I gotcha. Don't
What's the
worry.
Cell phone's
question?
a necessity, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd say so. Just, like, again, for work, communication. I don't necessarily think I need to be playing Angry Birds all the time or
Yeah.
whatever.
You still play that?
No, I don't. That's
Okay.
just a general
Yeah, way to
sweeping
go,
term of
Addyson.
like, hey, everybody, you know what an app game is,
like it.
right?
Yeah.
They don't play it anymore.
I just
right?
picked the biggest one. But yeah, necessity.
Yeah.
Short answer, I guess.
Sick. Great.
Ooh. No, I could live without it. I could literally live. But yeah,
Well,
society.
yeah.
Society. Oh, what?
I could also live without it, but it's necessity.
It's not on the food or water level.
Yeah, necessity
I
and
think.
society.
See, the problem I have with this. The problem I have with this is like, I have to because my friends are on it. And
Yeah.
It's that way for everybody. It's like, oh, if all of us could communicate properly through phone calls on a landline,
Telepathy.
telepathy,
Be
for
perfect.
example,
We could do
yeah,
that.
I
Yeah.
would gladly ditch my phone. But like, I'm not going to get invited to poker night unless I have my phone.
Yeah, that's
That's kind of how
That
it
would be a
goes.
shame.
I know, right? It's like, lose a little less money each week.
Yeah, I agree. That money's just sitting there, not being gambled.
I know.
Sadly.
What the hell? But no, so yeah, like in society, yeah, you have to have it, I guess, if you want to stay connected. But like Dad said, you could be a hermit and not have it. And I do plan on one day. Oh well, I think I won't need it, but I probably will my whole life. I just wouldn't like to have it. That's probably the way to go.
But what if you're this hermit guy living in the woods, Jeremiah Johnson style,
Oh, nice.
and you just want to have all the world's music at the palm of your hand? Is that a necessity now?
See, that's where that was my argument.
I'm
Sorry.
a pretty good singer.
No, you're not.
Wow.
I know songs, and I can perceive my own singing as good.
You can have that opinion.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing it.
Thanks.
You sound a lot
Yes,
different in your
Cam.
head than you do out loud, Those
Thanks,
are
Hope.
different-
Yeah, all right.
I think you're a really good singer.
Yeah. You
Thanks,
just sound a lot
Dad.
more nasally out here.
Oh,
That's everybody, not just targeting you, Grayson.
it sure feels like it.
Kind of
Yeah.
hurts like an intervention,
Yeah, it
doesn't it?
does. Yeah, wow. Each question is a different. Yeah.
An intervention for someone
Wow.
new.
Oh, goodness. You know what? Yeah,
I'll just
Cam,
put this mic away. Yeah.
you blew my whole argument
Go
up.
right ahead.
I'm gone.
You blew it up. I need Spotify.
I do.
It's a necessity.
It is. I think so. Ever since I discovered it, it's like I can't not.
Yeah.
It's a thing I need.
I was vouching for humanity, but no, it's over.
Hope.
I mean, yeah, I think it depends on the kind of life that you're trying to lead.
Yeah.
If I didn't want to change a single thing in my routine currently, yeah, it's a necessity. But I do feel like there are things, like I could definitely get away with not having one. Because, yes, I do care about communicating with the people who I want to communicate with and all of that jazz. But there are other ways of doing that, in my opinion. And I could use a laptop or something. In this question, you didn't specify that
I
there
did
are
not.
not other
True.
forms of digital communication.
Correct.
Just saying. But so I don't think it would be in my routine and all of that jazz. It would be that crazy to ex-nay the phone. The thing I would really miss is like the music and the instant knowledge, like the fact that you can figure out anything. Not figure out anything, but you can look up, some random question that you
Yeah.
would not otherwise ever be able to figure out on your own without asking some kind of expert who's probably dead.
Yeah. Or getting your Guinness World Book of Records out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you just wouldn't be able to do those things, and that would, I think, bother me because there are questions I get stuck on in my head and I can't let them go, and that would probably drive me insane.
Why don't you just make up answers?
That is also cooler.
I
For
do,
me,
I
like
do
that.
tend
People
to
do that
live
on the
in
internet, too.
delusion. I do tend to live in delusion.
Oh, I
half
learned
the
this
time,
phrase. Are
but-
you a Delulu girl?
Did you just learn
Did you
that?
really just ask that? Also, like,
Learned and asked right there.
Can you
I think in
fill
some
us old people in on that?
Yeah, I have no idea what
Delulu?
this is.
Short-term delusion. No.
yeah, you're just delusional. Like you're just somebody who like makes up stuff in your brain sometimes.
Oh.
Like, and yes, 1,000% I am a Delulu girl.
Okay.
1,000%.
Okay.
I can't help
Now I
it.
can say I've met one, you know?
There you go.
I'm sure you've met lots more.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for the sake of womanhood, it's a common trait.
We're all a little delulu.
But so are you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Everybody's a little Delulu.
For the record,
There's
none of
just
the
a little
guys said that.
sprinkle
Right?
in there.
None of you guys admitted it.
I'll
Yeah.
make up something to get out of a conversation.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, let's get out of here.
That's
No, absolutely.
not related.
Well, it's similar. But in your own
Yeah.
brain thing, right? Like you convince yourself that something's true.
Yeah. It's like
Just
when you're
to
on
be like,
WebMD
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, I'm dying.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
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 That makes sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of fake facts. Just like saying something is fake or saying something is a fact when it's not necessarily true, and just
Me
like
too.
believing it so hard that somebody
Just
else
double
believes
down on it.
Like, cool, fake
Yeah.
fact of the day. I'm out.
I think some people also call that gaslighting.
I dress it up nicer.
It's not gaslighting.
Less
It's being
toxic.
delusional.
Delulu.
Yeah.
Addison,
Delulu.
what do we got?
I would say my phone, as of my current lifestyle, is a necessity. With all of my family not living in state, I use it as a constant communication with all of them, making sure they're all okay, watching my niece grow up, things like that. I also can't get anywhere without my maps because I'm
Yo,
directionally
yes.
challenged. I could maybe read a map if I tried really hard.
We're progressing
It
as
would take
society,
a lot
right?
of time.
But I'd have to leave like an hour before I got somewhere. Just
Most streets are numbered nowadays.
Yeah.
No, but like,
I'm dyslexic, okay?
like east south, being able to tell what direction you're facing at any point when like throughout life. Like right now, I have no idea what direction I'm facing. Hypothetically
North.
and
North,
in
yeah.
real life.
North?
But like, how do you know that?
North.
How do you know
In
that?
Colorado,
so.
it was
We
easy.
came in.
Yeah.
The mountains were in the west.
Mountains
Yeah,
help a lot.
that's
yeah.
it. That's all I got.
But here, yeah, like you would need maps. I get you. I get you.
See? Hope
Well, I
gets
mean, to
it.
be fair, you still need maps because I couldn't get on a road and drive. I also think having a map
can't
while
drive?
driving. Yeah, like if I don't know where I'm going, I'm the
Oh,
same boat. Like I
okay.
need to know. I did
Yeah.
not specify that beforehand, so good catch. But yes. Like I think also having a map while driving is the equivalent to reading a book and driving, and that sounds worse than texting
See?
and driving.
You should stop.
It's a
and read
safety
the map.
hazard. But I can't remember that many things.
And stopping on the side of the interstate's dangerous.
Yes.
Just pull off. They're exits.
No, there are. That's fair.
Did y'all have those like I
The
know you-
murderers live in truck stops. I don't know.
That's why I never stopped there.
Correct.
So human trafficking is a big thing.
That's
already.
It really is. It's a huge
Big
problem.
thing.
That's it. Ever since Google Maps became something, the murder rate dropped. Right.
Does it?
Because so
I was.
because you don't have to stop and read maps
Is
and
this
get
one of
murdered.
Cam's
this
facts
a fake
made
Sorry, I
up?
was doing
I
the-
might have
the Cam
deluled
facts
right there.
thing.
Yeah.
That is a fake fact for sure.
Delulu.
We should get a cam approval to pop up on the podcast. There's a fake fact.
Fake fact. This is your fake fact of the day.
Alrighty. All right. So.
Wait, you didn't answer.
Oh yeah, I would not be able to. If I was next to the boy and my wife, I would be fine. I wouldn't look at my phone for hours. I wouldn't need it.
Sure, right.
The moment I go away, I'm going to need my phone for emergency phone calls, photos, and updates of the boy, and that's about it. Like it's also really nice staying up with friends and all that good stuff. But I would be able to like look at. I would be able to do that on my computer, not at all moments of the day like I would with the son and the wife.
Gotcha. So we all agree except for Addison.
Yeah. Yep. Who's navigating by mountains in Nebraska?
Gaslighting now.
I was actually following the stars.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Good,
Yeah, if you
good,
just follow
good.
the big one star, the sun,
Yeah.
that will actually tip you off.
I can actually only drive at night with my
I was gonna
sunroof
say, what
open.
about when it's daytime?
That's really good. Where's the Big Dipper?
I'm starting to think that this question might be a hard turn. So, heads up, everyone.
Okay.
So, I did a lot of research into sociology's deprivation theory. And what deprivation theory is, it's people who are currently content with their current situations are less likely to join social changes. So thus people who feel like they are deprived of certain material, emotional, or physical necessities are more likely to join these big societal movements and act to acquire those needs or wants. So caveat for the question itself, I've kind of broadened the description and the theory a little bit, but the question is, do you believe deprivation is a necessary evil for a better societal future?
Are you talking about cults?
No. like that is definitely a downside of it.
Okay.
Like, absolutely. But I think that Aristotle does a really good job of kind of framing the idea that, you know, like people, they want to be equal with each other. However, whenever you reach a certain point, people that are equal want to be more powerful. So the question is there going to be that line of if someone feels like they're deprived of something, which I'm going to say feeling they're deprived of something is different than physically being deprived of something, because that is there is a complete distinction here in this one. But if the idea is like, is this actually envy or is it true deprivation? And do you think that if people are deprived of something, that it's actually more beneficial compared to just being on equal ground and being able to live kind of all together? That was a tough question.
I think I got the original one.
Yeah, I don't think I really
Deprivation
muddied it.
is a necessary evil because it's always going to exist
Yeah.
in some way or another until we have a power structure that's not dictated by humans. There's always going to be one human who's in power and at least one who wants that, is my guess. And they'll feel envious, which I think is also a type of deprivation.
Yeah.
Where maybe it's made up, maybe it's Delulu, where you're like, I deserve this, but no, it's still, you're still being deprived of what you think you deserve, which is very real. It's a very real deprivation in that sense.
Yeah, and it's more of it's a benefit because it's actually driving people to be better, or
I
driving
don't
them
say
to,
necessarily a benefit.
or it's just a
No, 'cause
consequence of being a human.
it's a consequence of living on this earth. Yeah, there's not
Yeah.
enough resources for everyone to have the same amount. Or there probably is, but we don't distribute it that way,
Yeah.
that way. So there's always going to be deprivation in that sense. And then when you find a perfect balance, what's the next issue that comes up?
If someone finds
know.
something new, yeah.
Maybe that's the cynical sleep-deprived me, but that's kind of how I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think part of it also is that you're dealing with being contented. There's contentment and
Yeah.
comfort, right?
Yes.
I mean, so if I'm comfortable where I am, the original definition, then I want to stay here because it's comfortable. I know my world. I know the existence. I know what's happening. But there are people, if you're all sitting there all in your same comfort zones, that would be nirvana, where we're all just happy,
Yeah.
kumbaya kind of stuff. But there is, I think there always will be somebody who says, and maybe it's not for power, maybe it's just for something, I want something different.
Yeah.
Anybody who's had teenagers knows that, you think you have a preconceived notion of how they may grow up, but then they're like, no, they want something completely different.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And it's like, okay, so that's just different. Is it, deprivation? I don't know. In your definition, probably, yeah. So, yeah.
Because it would be a want for a different need.
Right,
It's
so-
not an actual necessity. It's a perceived necessity of what it would be.
I'm buzzing in with yes.
Excellent.
I think without deprivation, there would be the lack of variety and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like if there wasn't the feeling of being deprived of something, I think everybody would kind of settle into the same monotonous kind of structure and stuff like that. Like there wouldn't be any kind of exploration for something deeper. And I don't know. In my brain, that is a necessary evil. Like there needs to be variety in the world in order for society and whatever to positively grow.
Yeah. So there's no motivation without deprivation.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. So you
In
need
my head anyway.
Yeah.
But in taking the literal definition, what you read of us earlier, how deprivation can be like what you said, very something that is either perceived or something that is literally without. Who's to say which is which and which weighs more, But without it, I don't know. It would just all be the same, and that's not what I would want anyway. So in my head, it is
a
necessary.
stronger lack of diversity. There would just be comfort and no one doing really a whole lot of anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Could you imagine how bad art would be?
Exactly. I don't think art would
yeah.
even exist in a lot of ways. At least not in the same context that it is now, or at least how diversified it is. Like people would, I don't know, the first person who expressed something creatively, artistically, they'd be like, okay, now let me just. But would people? I was gonna say, would people would just then try and recreate that? But without that feeling of like deprivation, would they even feel the need to recreate it since it's already been created? Like, okay, cool. Nobody needs to do anything creative ever again. There's that.
Yeah.
You know, like without that feeling, there's exactly no motivation or no inspiration as well.
Awesome. Addie?
Got no thoughts right now. The only thing I can think about is cults.
Yeah, the
I'm
lives
still
of the
thinking
cults.
about it.
Go there.
Mainly because the whole reason they exist is because they prey on people who are deprived of something, whether it's, resources or lack of self-worth, money, housing, just like the will to live in general. And that's how they gain a following in whatever kind of cult you're talking about. Religions in some sorts, like Scientology. If any of them are listening, please don't come after me.
We don't endorse her. She just did that herself.
But you're saying that deprivation can also have negative connotations as
Yes.
well. Just because it makes you do something, it doesn't mean that things can be positive. It's just a motivation to act.
Yeah, and I think it just, as long as there is deprivation, it keeps a social hierarchy because I don't remember who mentioned it, but you're always going to want what someone else has.
Yeah.
So even if you're on top, you're going to want something else just because you feel like you deserve that and because you're deprived of it. And it just keeps like the natural balance of things in some sorts. Not saying it's a good thing, but also that's just kind of how we've set up our social society.
Yeah, and I can definitely see. I don't have a whole lot of envy for a bunch of other people's stuff. A lot of mine, I do have internal envy of things that I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I'm depriving myself or I'm depriving the world of a lot of my good talents.
Well, that's still compared to other people's achievements, whether they've been in the past or present.
That's true. That's
because
true.
of your
Inevitably.
expectations are set by something else.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I redact that statement.
Let me get a Sharpie.
Just etch it out.
Let's edit that one out. Let's have a big old cut there.
Take that out of
Take
the
it out.
But if you can leave the video in so the mouths are just
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
Oh, we can put in our own words.
There you go.
Put that
Brandy bot.
Brandy
Thank you.
bot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brandy bot.
All right, Cam, what do we got?
So wild.
So the thing you're talking about is a new idea, I guess, for me in the whole situation. I think I'll agree with the group that it's probably necessary to create more or to get that want out there to make yourself better, I guess would be the situation, right?
Yeah.
Human growth probably better because you're deprived of something, you want that, so you strive for it. The thought I had when you first were saying the definition was it took me back to the pandemic and the protests in the streets. Now, I'm not trying to get anywhere political or anything on this, but do you think that because we were all kept inside for so long because of the pandemic, once those protests and things started happening in Omaha specifically, that people wanted to go outside and experience that with each other just because we were we're deprived of human contact for a while. Now there's something happening outside and we're gonna go. Do you think it would have been a bigger deal if there wasn't, or it wouldn't have been as big of a deal if the pandemic wasn't enforced or in play?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
I think you have frustrations across multiple areas.
And also, am I correct in that kind of a
Yeah, you're bingo, right on
thing?
it.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yep.
Whatever that other word is escaping me now. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's just the first thought I had was kind of not to say that people weren't outraged and weren't gonna go out and do that, but because we were all kept inside, that more people wanted to go out there and be a part of that. Whatever their affiliation was with the cause or whatever, they just want to be out there doing something with humans again.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
Is there a phrase that's like hard times make strong people make good times make weak people, and weak people make bad times?
Yeah.
It's kind of what you're just like deprived of. If you have, a horrible time, more things are going to happen because people are trying to get out of it. And I think that'll always be a necessity.
Yeah.
I guess I just jumped in for no reason on camp.
No, I was asking a question. I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
sure it goes in line with the definition of what we were discussing anyway, or if it's just another social situation outside of that.
Yeah,
But if they kind of go in line, but just different thought processes, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think the protests would have been as big.
Think so?
Yeah, Because if you looked at the makeup of a lot of the people who protested, the weather was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was young people, getting out and just. I mean, there wasn't a lot of masks being used.
Yeah.
I mean, and the situation was so heinous anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It set this up, I think. Yeah, it maybe by tens of people, but I don't
Yeah.
think by hundreds and thousands of people.
There was also,
That's
I
my
don't know. I
my
don't know
gut
if it
feeling.
was-
I was just thinking the Omaha area.
Right. That's what
specifically.
I'm just talking about.
Yeah.
The Floyd protests here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's also different exposure with stuff like that, like around that time, like with the pandemic and everything, like coverage on these things, and specifically the George Floyd instance and all of the other people that unfortunately fell into that. Like the coverage, at least, it was just so much more in your face. Like, I don't know if it was media. It was probably very heavily like the media focus on it and everything. And there could be something to say about the pandemic and the correlation of that. But I feel like it was also just like the way it was presented. It had so many more young people like, geez, like, why is this still happening? Like, this is literally ridiculous. It's been
Right.
how long of us fighting this same exact fight? I mean, I can't even say like us, like, but like this community fighting the same exact fight for little to no kind of growth. And like the fact that there was so much more upfront kind of coverage and, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Availability.
Sure, yes, availability to like information and stuff like that, because we were all, nothing else was going on, like
Yeah.
it was like we were all, what's the next thing, what's the next big thing in the world? Because at this point also like we were all just waiting for something big to happen again, and it was this, and it's like, okay, this is absolutely terrible, and like because the rest of the world is on pause, yes, I don't think it's like necessarily the feeling of being deprived of human interaction. It's like, hey, we finally have all of this energy and time to like focus on this and like highlight this and like fight back against it, or at least do what we think we can to fight back against it and make some kind of wave somewhere. I don't know. I don't think it's
yeah. So
completely
maybe
just
it
because
was
of
bigger
the
because
depravity and the striving for better could be framed 20,000 different ways for that situation that I lined out with the pandemic and the protests.
Yeah.
Could be X amount of different things, but
Absolutely.
that was just the first one that came to my head.
Yeah.
Probably
makes
for
sense.
whatever reason. But yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Cool. Look at that.
Yeah.
Covered a lot of ground in that
That
question.
was.
Yeah, we did.
That was. Hard pivot.
We're going back.
Brandy bot.
All right. So, second to last question.
Wow.
I recently passed a test I was studying for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Brady
did it.
passed the patent bar.
Nice.
We did it.
Right. I thought it was paternity. Oh, so it was,
Yeah.
it was patent. Okay.
He probably passed both.
I did pass the paternity bar
He
too.
is the father.
I didn't read that one right.
That
Sorry.
was a very, very cool Maury episode I was on. Whenever we had
Maury.
The parent bar.
It is
It was the
confirmed.
Parent Trap.
That's a good movie.
Whenever I was studying for the exam, I felt like I failed it twice before I passed it the third time. And I kid you not, what I was saying for, I felt like I was never going to get past. I was going to be studying for this exam forever. I felt like I was deprived of a resolution. So this question goes a little like this. What is something in your life that you are currently feel like you are deprived of a resolution? Like, for example, I am still pissed off that pink and gray get a special color denomination while you add white and blue to another color, and it's called light blue. Because
so-
I got made fun of
Excuse
for
me?
calling pink light red.
Oh,
and I
my
am
God.
still upset about it and do not feel all in my soul like this argument has been well talked over.
Well, check out the
I-
food episode.
Let's look at this.
It seems
Add
like you need
white.
to send a letter to Crayola, really.
I agree. Okay.
All right.
So,
I thought we were going to be talking
you know
about
what?
personal
Let's
stuff
talk
here.
to Brandy Bot. I think Brandy Bot.
Hold it up to your mic so we can hear it.
Yeah. Okay. Here.
Yeah.
See, Brandy Bot. What do you have to say about it?
Has light red.
What? Brandy Bot. What are you saying?
I don't even think Crayola has light red.
Son of a gun. Still on the fritz. Still on the fritz.
Is this how your patent bar
What's the
exam
question?
went? Because I might have an idea on the first two times.
I'm gonna get the kinks worked out of it. It's just taking me a while. Okay. Just give me a second to figure out Brandy Bot. But anyways, anything in your life that currently does not feel like it's met a resolution?
not met a resolution, or it feels
Or it
like
feels
you
like you're
don't know what
deprived
the
of a resolution.
revolution is.
Yeah, or like you feel like it's went on for a while, or if like it has ended, it's been underwhelming.
I'll pile on again with my knee thing going on from last week. I would love this thing to be resolved at a knee injury, and it's just dragging on forever. And I would broaden it out into when you get to a certain age, things take longer to heal. So you feel the aches longer, if you work out or whatever. And it's like, what's happening? So I feel like my body is, it's turning on you. So I don't know how to phrase it in deprived of a resolution. I would prefer that the physical fitness of my youth was still around. And you try to get there, but you're just not going to get there. I mean, you're going to get closer to it if you work on it.
Yeah.
Right now the knee is holding me back, but that's when the goal, right, is to try to stay as healthy as long as possible.
Yeah.
And my wife is tremendously, she does yoga all the time. She's a specimen of physical fitness, and so it is really.
Specimen. He called you a specimen. Focus only on that.
Yes. Welcome to our family. So now this is going to be about 3 months of me telling my wife, no, you're not just a specimen. and random
right
text
there.
to Grayson being like, thanks, Greg.
I'll know.
So anyway, so that's kind of with me. I mean, it's more the physical fitness. It's like, I want to get there, but I've been deprived of that resolution because we're going to the gym. Injury holds you back, right? You can't get there. So it's just that ongoing, and since as I'm throwing it on age, but it is a little bit longer. You're not as your muscles are elastic, so it takes longer to recover. So you can't go back to the speed you want to go to.
Absolutely. But do you think there'll be a little bit of alleviation or a little bit of light on the situation whenever the brace comes off?
I hope so. That's the goal, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But I don't know. I mean,
Until I get there.
right? You just never know. So.
Yeah. Excellent. Any takers? Any?
I gave it a whirl.
Yeah.
So, like 8 years ago, Carla's parents bought us a car. I had a car at the time, but she didn't have a car, so it was her car. And it was, stayed in their name for the title and all that kind of stuff, and they insured it back home in Alma, Nebraska. Whoop, whoop. And then, time came that we took over the whole thing. But wouldn't you know it, that thing had a couple accidents, none of our doing. We got backed into a lot and ran into.
Sure,
so the
whatever.
car itself got totaled.
Oh.
But it's still fun. I drive it today. It's my car that I drive today. But the side door got hit, which busts something in there that you can't replace the door because it's welded on. You can't replace welds after it's been welded. I don't know what the deal is. So it's like, we just have to total it out. Even though it's a fully functioning car, all doors, windows, everything works, right?
Yeah.
So then now it's a whole different title, a salvage title.
Title.
I'm not completely sure of how the whole situation works, but I did get pulled over the other day. And I didn't have the current registration on me because we haven't got the title over to my name so I can go get it registered and all that.
Yeah.
I also didn't have current insurance in the car. I had current insurance. I'm just driving that. I know. Hey, come get me,
You had a beer
coppers.
between your legs.
Come get me, coppers. But this guy, he pulled me over and he was like, you got a taillight. I'm like, that again. Because that's the bane of my existence is that taillight just goes out all the time. So I'm telling him about that. I'm telling him about this. I'm like, I got all these previous proofs of everything, but I don't have anything current. He's like, all right, cool. Goes back to the car and he comes back and he's like, it comes back to 2 cars. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? This license plate is to 2 cars. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's my stepdad's car also. Like,
I stole the plates off of
I'm
his
not sure why it would be to 2 different cars unless, because it's a farm truck, so it's got that farm tag on it.
Right.
So maybe the hyphen's messing something up, which in my experience in life, the hyphen always messes something up.
Absolutely.
So he looks at me and goes, after I explain all this to him, he's like, well, good luck getting that sorted out. I'm not going to give you a ticket today, but I did put a note in, so if you get pulled over again, they know that we've talked about this. I'm like, cool. So not quite yet resolved, but oh my God, if I'm not on that thing. Like, the next day, I replaced that light bulb, and I did everything else I needed to do except get the thing transferred over. But that's the next step. Is get the title of my name. So it's like, cool, let's do all that now.
So at the end of your conversation with the cop, was he doing something like this? Like,
no. Actually, it was really funny. He was like foaming at the mouth because he was like, I got to get something on this guy. And then like he actually like was talking to me and he spit. Like it hit my car door. He's like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like it was. I was like, wow. Are you Barney Fife? What the hell's going on here, man? Like it was the weirdest experience I ever had. And of course, I'm nervous just because it's always every time you get pulled over, like I gotta do everything right. You know, there's just always that thing. So he was super cool, and he was just like, all right, man, I'll let you go, but good luck. Thanks, man. It's been a couple years coming, so I appreciate your understanding on that whole thing. But yeah, so it's not quite yet resolved, but man, it's gonna feel good. Man, it's gonna be awesome.
You're deprived of a technically legal car. I'm trying to track this.
so
It is technically legal.
You totaled it out, took the money for being totaled.
Yeah.
Not to admit to any insurance fraud.
That's
here,
not
but-
fraud.
No,
we
not yet.
definitely did that. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But it's still a functioning car, so what are we gonna do? Not drive it?
Yeah.
I'd give it back.
Yeah. Thing's a beast, though. I go Baja through stuff with that.
Yeah, that's why you got pulled over.
No. I was driving like a normal dude.
Sure.
I do. Anyway, on to somebody else.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the intervention.
Take the focus off me.
You ready?
Sure.
Go.
I would say the resolution I'm deprived of currently. I'm in a big transitionary period in my life currently, it feels like, which is just silly and annoying, but I just wish the end would come. Not the end. Not
Excuse me.
there are days, but not actually. I wish the resolution would come where I just like feel like I'm not in this transitionary phase anymore. Like I feel like I've started this new life. I'm on the right foot. Like I'm in the right routines. I'm doing my own thing, like stuff like that. And it just feels like there's all sorts of like stupid, annoying logistic stuff that is like you have to hit before you could get to that. And so it's like I know what the resolution is, but even once I obtain the freedom of having that resolution, the discipline of keeping myself in these routines and stuff like that is also what's hard for me. So I don't know. I feel like I am deprived of the resolution on how to continuously feel like I am on the right path.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump straight onto that. Actually, it's a deprivation of satisfaction is what I call it. And it's the same kind of thing, and I'm sure it's what everyone feels when they're in their 20-somethings. Is like you doing all this stuff, you're trying to figure things out, nothing quite feels right, maybe.
Yeah.
Or like maybe it feels right, and you're not getting anything out of it, or what you thought you'd get out of it.
Yeah.
I think I'll be dealing with that for a long time. I don't think that's coming anytime soon. A resolution on that is coming anytime soon. But I think that what Hope's saying about like setting these patterns and stuff is good, but like I do the same thing. I set a pattern. I work really hard. Let's go for 3 years doing the same thing. And then like at the end of it, whether it's external or internal, you don't get like a reward for it.
Yeah.
Really? And like it's life. Like as a 26-year-old, I can't say I have the answers or I deserve anything because I don't. But like you feel like you would get something out of it at least, maybe a personal pride. And some things I do. Like we're on season 5 of this thing, which is cool. But like, am I satisfied with life? Probably not. Will I be anytime soon? Probably not. But like once I reach what I think is satisfaction now, it also probably will not be what I consider to be satisfaction anymore. So I feel like that's a deprivation I'll have ongoing for as long as I can, not get out of that mental loop, I guess. And I don't know when that comes. Maybe the elders in the room can tell us.
Well, you guys are almost, to me, it's like you're describing adulting.
Yeah, no, I was straight up. It's just not satisfying,
I mean, it's tough.
It feels like there isn't a resolution, and that's the most annoying thing. Is like it literally is just this is like surprise. You waited 18 years being like, oh, I want to be an adult. Adulthood seems so fun for this to be it. Like this is like the biggest letdown in the world, and this is just what it is for the rest of however long I get on the world. Like I don't know, and I know that's a very cynical way of looking at it, and I'm sure a resolution in ways will come, but me right now at 24 is just like, really?
Yeah.
This is what I got signed up for, and I didn't even ask for it. No offense, but like,
Well, I can't really put you back.
I don't think mom would like that very much.
Stop this now. It doesn't get better by 26.
Or 28.
I thought I was going to
It
turn
can.
25 and my frontal lobe was going to develop, and
Oh,
I was going to
no.
wake up that morning and everything was going to make sense.
God, isn't that the scariest thing? You wake up one day and
Because
like,
I can
science is
I can
like,
rent a car.
by the way, your brain's done. This is you forever.
This is it.
But not if you have ADHD. It takes
Oof.
longer.
Really?
Yes.
Which I love.
Science.
I love an extension.
Yeah.
now you don't
that
stay
extension
up all
on the
night
brain
passing
You can
that test.
procrastinate it a little bit longer.
Yeah, not to promote
Thanks,
drugs and
ADHD.
alcohol, but you know that's
Yeah.
a brain-altering situation.
Yeah.
And also,
Just a little bit.
Here's to you.
Addison, what do we got?
ground have we covered in this
What do
show?
I have? The only resolution I'm currently working towards is gaining enough PTO to go on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
So
I can dig
I have 3 days of PTO right now.
How long's your vacation?
What's the destination as well?
I don't know yet,
Okay.
but I accrue PTO as I work. So it just accumulates. So I'm just kind of working until I have enough days to go on said vacation.
But you don't have a vacation.
Yeah, I figure you have the destination in mind. Like, let's work towards Jamaica or whatever it might be. You know.
I don't
Well,
have
that's
that.
a
I
good-
don't
Bring those
have
beads back.
Jamaica
Good to know,
money.
Or Omaha.
Yeah. Come on down to Arlen County.
I don't want to do that.
Get a reservoir.
Oh, she didn't mean that.
Yeah, you can run a boat.
The reservoir.
Yeah, we got a
Okay.
great one.
They filled it back up again. Yeah.
You have a
Yeah.
boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a boat.
Yeah, we went
You
fishing.
can run a
Okay.
pontoon.
Yeah, you can
Rent
take a bucket.
pontoon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Make sure you take a bucket.
Make sure you take the bucket in the boat.
And
take a
don't talk
bucket.
about Grandpa.
Season 1, episode what, 4?
Yeah.
Talk about Grandpa.
It's a great time.
No,
So-
yeah.
Final question. What talent are you depriving the world of?
Welcome to side B
Thank you.
of the Deprivation episode. Brady,
Hey.
gracious job hosting that. Gracious job hosting that. Good job
I'm the
hosting that.
graciousest boy of all.
I want to know, and I'm going to start with you. What is a Delulu moment you snapped out of?
A Delulu moment I snapped out of. Do I have to snap out of it?
No, sure. What's your most recent Delulu moment? Okay, hit me with one.
Are we in one?
Yeah, that does appear to be the case. I think, every single night before I go to bed, I tell Brianna, this is the night Bob, my son, sleeps through the night. And it never is. And I don't think I'm going to snap out of that until he actually fully sleeps through the night. But I do feel Delulu every time I'm Delulu every time I say it, though I don't feel it.
See, should you party? Like, should you throw a nice breakfast when your kid sleeps through the night the first time?
Yeah, absolutely. I think partying is always the right thing to do. But that's why,
Second that.
yeah, that's why he always keeps waking up. He just wants to party. You know,
He's the party.
he's a
animal.
party animal. I can't blame the guy. He's part me. So
Okay, that is a very valid Delulu moment. Cam, you got a Delulu moment recently?
Maybe. No, I don't. No.
We can wait.
Yeah, please come back. Yeah. Let me think about it.
Anyone got a Delulu moment? They
I
can
still want anything incriminating to come out again.
again. Keyword.
I do love getting with Cam Delulu and illegal. Or
You got one?
Well, I mean, I'm going to throw it back to my knee the other day. On my knee, but I can take the brace off at home. You know, I have to wear it 24/7 otherwise, you know. So I took it off, and I have this delusion that I can actually walk smoothly, and I can only bend my knee so far. And so
I just imagine you do like silly walks or something.
that is exactly what it is. It's the ministry of silly walks. Yeah.
great.
So yeah.
Ministry of Silly Walks.
The ministry.
It's a Monty Python. It's called the Ministry of Silly Walks. Yeah, John Cleese does an amazing thing, but yeah. So without the huge overstep.
Yeah, the overstep's
that's
the thing, yeah.
that's what I do. So I have this delusion or delulu that I can actually walk fairly smoothly. So yeah, I'm going to use that on the news. Yeah,
Please do.
yeah.
Clip it
So-
if you do.
On a Tuesday.
So I'm on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is that a Delulu day?
No, we just watch your newscasting at Kincaidor on Tuesdays.
Oh, you're a bar favorite.
Is that the
Yeah.
only day you're allowed to, or something, or what?
No, that's just when I'm at the bar. Yeah.
Gets too rowdy.
Seems like that's
Any
like,
day besides Tuesday.
like what do we
things
report on Tuesdays that is so bar
$3
worthy?
beers.
I was like, wait, what's going on? Why is the news on at the bar? That's like the you
You
want to
have to stay
escape
up
everything.
to date on current events.
Yeah, to
Grayson.
get those cool cups from Kincaid.
Yeah. See, Cam knows.
I work
There you
there.
go.
Yeah,
Do
he
you
knows.
are you catching the 6, 7, or 10 o'clock?
We don't have a 7, but that's good.
I was
very
testing.
good.
I was just wondering, did I miss it?
Between the hours of 5 and 8 o'clock, it's one of those
5 and
hours.
6?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
seven,
Yeah,
Yep.
okay, nice.
Yep.
So walking.
You're delusional about walking.
And I'm still not out of the Delulu.
Still
so.
not.
That's okay.
Oprah Cam, you got something?
Yeah.
Most convincing, I've ever heard.
It's just embarrassing. Like
Give it to us.
I should have just believed the people with this one. But like the people when they said that like you feel better literally like endorphin wise and all that fun stuff after you work out. I was like, they just gotta be that's not true. Like they feel good
Why
about
would they do
themselves
it?
because they look good in the mirror or something like that. And it's just like that's given them whatever. But then I took a bar class for the first time this last Sunday.
Yeah, how
and I
was
was like, geez, God, they actually were right. Like,
I feel good.
that's
How
actually,
dare
yeah,
they?
like, what the heck? They were right. Like, so I guess the Delulu moment that I snapped out of is that exercising actually does have a positive effect on your mental and not just your physical.
How did your bar class go?
It actually went really well.
What did
I did a lot better than I thought I was going to do, which I will start off by saying. But it was a lot of like movement stretching type things, but it's to music, so it's like to a beat, so you're like pulsing and stuff like that, and you're literally like using, at least in this ladies like workout, like you're using every part of every muscle in your body. It felt like you were in for like 15 minutes focusing on one section of your body, and then you'd move to the next and then the next. And Mom and Dad can attest to this. I was not able to walk very well the next couple of days.
But you kept up?
Yeah. And like I was very scared going into it just because like one, I was going with my friend who is a spin instructor, so like she's fine, like she's fine. And I was just like, she had told me precursor kind of that she had taken a couple of her other friends to a similar class and they like almost passed out and had to like leave the room and stuff like that. People who also like don't work out commonly. So I was like, oh, what am I getting myself into? Like I really haven't worked out since I like did show choir, and that's is working out, but like it's not in the same kind of like
high school.
Exactly. So it's like I don't know. I don't have that same relationship with working out that a lot of people do. Anyways, or like feel the need to do it. But now I don't know. After that, it was just I think the person who was running the class did a really, really good job at making it challenging, but not too hard. Like I was able to like take a step back if I needed to and like catch my breath, or like if I felt like my leg was literally gonna snap in half, like give it a second to like regain its consciousness, and then I was able to like go back into it, and there wasn't any kind of like, I don't know, I didn't feel like judged or whatever. And that's my biggest, I think, thing going into working out. And honestly, I think a lot of people's thing of like going to working out publicly anyways is like the judgment that you could find that other people have, that you're not able to like keep up with them or stuff like that. So I don't know. I was delulu about how good it feels, and now I'm just angry at the world because it feels so good. I should probably keep doing it.
Well,
Shucks.
you did so well in the class, you could say actually that you passed the bar.
A lot easier of a bar than yours, but
Thank you.
Wait, diminish Brady's
Thank you.
talent.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I could touch my toes.
I couldn't either. It's okay. She had to come over and help.
Why do you want to touch Brady's toes?
I got
No
my
comment.
cat in here to bite the toes.
There you go.
Cameron, Addison, you guys got something?
I am just in a constant state of delusion, I think.
And good answer. Cam?
No, wait. Someone should fight.
Elaborate, okay?
Someone should argue with her on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, who wants to do it?
No, I'm elaborating. You're not allowed to argue yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Side B stands for boundaries.
There we go. Hey.
There you go. I am in a constant state of illusion because if I myself think everything's going to work out and everything's going to be okay, then it is.
Why is that delusional?
I don't know, because
that
people
just-
think it's just delusional to think that everything's going to be okay for you all the time.
So optimism
also
is
there's-
delusional.
Apparently.
Okay.
There's a
Yes.
lot of other people
Obviously,
who
Cam.
think.
So sorry.
There's
So
a
wait.
lot. There's a lot of other people who think like putting out into the universe is
Yeah.
what, like speaking those things is going to be manifesting.
Yes.
It's going to bring those back to you. So that's
Yes.
not
So I'm
completely
just-
delusional.
I don't think so either. But some may say I'm in a constant state of delusion.
It's a lot softer than how you started your answer.
Would you say
What?
that you're in a constant state of delusion, or do you think that it is all going to be
did
worked
on
out?
She
record.
did, yeah.
I,
say that.
I
But,
do I do think that
Is there a
only
resolution?
because I do know bad things happen. So I do know that like not everything's going to be okay. But if I continue to think that, that'll put my best foot forward into getting what I want.
Has everything kind of turned out okay for you so far?
Yeah.
So there you go. Maybe it's
So take my master class.
Dad.
What's it? Yeah. I am.
right at you?
Wow.
What are you doing
Do I
between
need
5 and
it?
8 on Tuesdays?
You can walk if you
idea.
just believe hard enough.
Join me Tuesdays. I can cater.
I can walk.
If you believe you can walk, you will walk one day. Not today, but one day.
No, if that's
Are we
works
doing-
that
yeah,
way.
it's
One day.
Are we doing our manifestations out now? Can I do
Yeah.
mine?
Yeah.
Give me Cam's car. Give me
Yeah, take it back to Alma with you.
I want to. Return it back to its natural soil.
Right, yeah.
Cam.
Ashes to ashes. Alma to alma.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a cult?
It turns into one.
Working on it.
Depends what you believe.
By season 6, if we're not drinking Kool-Aid during this show,
That's right.
I'm out.
I can make some.
Cam.
Perfect.
You
Yeah,
have one yet?
I think so.
What was the question?
I am delusional
Yes.
about what?
Life.
Yeah, no. Oh man, I had it too. I just brain farted on it.
Do you want me to go? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, go. Give me a third try. Yeah, first.
We can throw nouns at you if you like. One sticks.
What the hell show? Yeah. Also, that's the hardest thing. Like, what am I delusional about?
You're going
Right,
to
like-
find an answer.
Right. Like, what do I think is right that nobody else
Well,
thinks is
if you
correct?
admit to it, you're probably, haven't accepted that it's delusional. yet.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be the hardest thing to find
You're going to
out.
be a rock star.
Yeah. No, I think I figured that one out. That's very apparent. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Go
to
ahead.
buy you a
Go
little
ahead.
more time, we did a food episode last season, and I came up with this restaurant called Sauced and Tossed.
Yes.
Delicious.
And I think about it maybe twice a week, and I don't think about like how delicious it is, how fun it'd be to run. I was like, this thing could go national if we did it right. Sauced and Tossed, if you haven't been listening very long, is you got a bunch of things that require sauce, and you toss them in a lot of sauce. So like pizza, tons of sauce. Wings, tons of sauce. Salad, Caesar dressing only. Kind of that stuff.
Salad and Caesar salad.
also, not Dorothy? You're not doing Dorothy?
No
I do
balsamic
sp- You
vinaigrette?
can get Dorothy. That's
Okay.
fine.
So
Over
you
the
only
rainbow.
you only get the sauce?
Yeah, sauce
No,
only.
that was a little bit of an exaggeration. You'll,
And you
get,
get
you'll get
tossed.
some shards of lettuce in there. A lot of croutons. A lot of
Croutons. Yeah, that's good.
Do you as a person get tossed?
Is it boozy also?
Bougie?
Boozy.
It's called sauced and tossed. Yes.
Boozy.
Yes,
So you get
there's this-
tossed in the sauce.
Yes, there's this pizza place in Omaha where you get a wristband and you walk up to a beer wall and you put your wristband on it and pour the beer, and then that wristband through a program collects how much beer you've drinking.
Yeah, I hate bartenders.
Wow.
Drama.
Yeah. Like
Anyway,
touched a nerve.
Maybe we got one. I don't know.
There's a trigger.
But no, like I still am there. Like I'll have to check myself. Like I'll be like, "Yo, you don't even know how to make an enchilada properly the first time. Like chill out. You can't do this." So that's my delusion.
Making enchiladas.
Yes, but
Oh.
also more of the sauce and tosh thing.
The the whole idea of the restaurant
The thing
Yeah.
is,
delusional.
I could
the
sell it to
restaurant
someone.
owners don't know what they're doing. That's why they hire people who do know what they're doing, and why that like you just got to have the idea, and then you got to find somebody who can implement.
You're so right.
I'm just
I am of
gaslighting you
sound
into the
mind
correct-
and body.
There we go. Yeah.
You are an entrepreneur.
I can do this.
What he thought was once delusional is now back to reality.
just
for
here to
him.
why
hype
you
you
have
up.
sisters. Yep.
Yikes.
No, this
I
is
got
my
you.
life plan. I'm putting all my life savings.
The
towards
I
it.
hope,
document.
yeah. I
Grayson
support you
McCartney.
fully.
Thanks. I hope you're prepared for me to move in with you after it doesn't work
Oh,
out.
okay, yeah. Sleep on my
Spend all my money on sauce.
I didn't toss anything.
Tossed out of my apartment.
All right, Cam, if that's not a time buyer, I don't know what
I
it is.
think you did a really good job. The thing I remembered that I'm not delusional about anymore. That was the question, right?
No.
Yeah.
Sure. You're going to forget it.
Yeah. I'm delusional about what the question was, so I'm going to answer it as if I was delusional. But I can't do everything. I can't do everything.
Why
I
not?
always because there's just not a time of the day
Oh.
to get everything done and do everything for everybody that that would need something done or ask a question of me or ask a favor of me or whatever it might be. Can't get it done. Just not going to happen. You got to really kind of figure that out. I guess.
Yes.
The thing now that I'm approaching 40, things you figure out in your old age.
Breathing into the mic.
Yeah,
something that
that's the thing. Now it's me being an old man. I'm just gonna
I didn't know.
all the time. Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Yeah, I think I can. I'm gonna go on with that as well. I agree, Carly. And I agree. I agree. Like my
aloe vera
morning self,
juice.
whenever I'm planning out my day, thinks I can fit so much more material in it than I actually can.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell my wife like, "Hey, we're gonna do this, and I do one of the things." She's like, "So what about the other things?" Like, I'm tired now. Morning Brady's delusional. Don't listen to that guy.
All you did was have breakfast. I know.
I know. That was a lot.
Exhausted.
That was a lot.
Morning is easily the most Delulu time of the day.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I have come up with a phrase that might help people.
But don't hold your breath.
Yeah,
Is this going to be an affirmation?
it's something. Yeah. Basically, it's the phrase is
Okay.
I didn't think of the word. I suck at this today. Tomorrow will never go as planned. That's the phrase. No matter what you plan to do tomorrow, something's going to derail you. Something's going to get in your way and cause that time to be sucked somewhere else,
Yeah.
good or bad, whatever it might be. So tomorrow doesn't go as planned. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. It's kind of a riff on that. But tomorrow, when you get there, doesn't go as planned.
Is that a cliche? Do you hate that, Dad?
Getting close. It's the
Okay.
first time I heard it, so
Yeah.
no,
That's
not
my
kidding you.
cliche meter.
There you go.
I got
Do
a
if I hate
couple
it?
more for you. You're
You
just
hate
gonna hate 'em.
cliches?
Yes.
Oh.
If you'd done the ones like today's a present, a
No.
gift, that's why they call it a present, then I probably would have gone on. Yeah.
No,
Punch through the mirror.
I made it up, so I thought it was
Yes,
original.
so I haven't heard it. That's why I
the
said.
Cam Broham original.
There you go.
Put that
Turn
on a
your
bumper sticker.
Delulu into Trululu.
Oh,
Period.
What is
Wow.
Trululu?
True
sounds
life.
like a
True
hard
life.
seltzer brand. Also,
So true.
The one with the
It's like a
ounce.
frozen strawberry thing. The Truly.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Truly.
I think that might be a thing,
It
actually.
might be.
This is the point where it went off the rails.
yeah, I'm going back.
All right, we're back, baby.
We got more questions?
All right, one more.
All right.
One more for side B. Your phone simply disappears for a week. Doesn't matter why.
Darn it.
How much downtime do you find yourself having?
A lot.
What do you try doing in that downtime? I have recently been putting my phone away deliberately and trying to play guitar despite not having training and not being able to play it. But I like figuring out just little things I can do, mostly on one or two strings, so it's not impressive, but I like just figuring it out and like kind of itching my brain that way, if that makes sense. So I'd probably spend more time doing that. If I had drums, I'd do that too. Music's kind of that escape for me, despite that I apparently can't sing, and I've learned that today.
Nobody
So-
said you can't.
I think
sing.
you can sing.
I think
I'm
you were
free
in-
to.
You
For
have
the
a
benefit of
vocal cords.
society, I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't.
You made
I
varsity
think you
show
should give
choir.
it a go.
Yeah, I do.
Give it a go.
Give it a go.
Right now.
All right. Sauced and
Let it rip.
tossed.
Oh,
The
And-
musical.
yeah.
Go. No.
No, I am going to be Delulu about that. For a while. But that's me. That's what I would do with my free time until I got bored of that, and then I would struggle.
Mine is real easy because I have been not able to read a non-law-based book for God knows how long.
Okay.
And now I finally get to actually read some non-legal books because when I'm spending my days reading legal books the entire time, the last thing I want to do is read a book at the end. But now I'm super excited to get back, relax, and then wait for the little boy to kind of fall asleep. And then I get like an hour of just reading a book. And
Are you reading John Grisham?
No, I'm
Good.
not. No,
what's our
I'm
beef with John
reading.
Grisham?
It's all law.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm reading.
Or us lower
inside
level
joke.
citizens don't know that.
Yes.
Sorry.
That one's for the readers out there.
All readers out there.
Stefan Zweig's World of Tomorrow. Or World of Yesterday, not World of Tomorrow, World of Yesterday, which was, like the Grand Budapest Hotel movie that was adapted by Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
It was, that movie was portrayed on his books.
Was it adapted from that?
Yeah,
book?
adapted from his
that
books.
one
Yep.
book.
Not from that one book, from,
A
yeah.
series of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah.
Back to reading. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's very good. I really like it.
It's probably what. Yeah. We should probably do that more in general. Anyway.
Similarly, I was going to say writing. I've never been a big writer in my life, but I don't really know how to describe this very well, but I feel this need in me to write. Like, I feel like there's a lot going on up here in my brain that should just not stay up there. Like, it should come out in ways other than me speaking. And like, there's a whole like creative outlet type thing with art and stuff like that. But I think that I would like to try and verbalize some of the thoughts. But I think I also get swayed away from doing this right now with my phone because I see poems and writing and all sorts of different kind of stuff all over like my social media and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna sound as poetic as them. I'm never gonna like it's not gonna be as like, these scholars and stuff like that. So why am I even gonna, what's the point? Like, I'm just gonna keep it up here because why would I write it down? Like, what's the point of that? And that's not a good way of looking at things.
That's a little delulu.
That is a little delulu for
Little bit.
sure.
I'm just going to use that word all the time.
It's a good word.
As you should.
We'll run
It's
it
a really
into the
good
ground.
word.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I have this want to write, but I feel like I compare my ability to with everybody else, and that stops me from doing it. So if I just like wasn't able to see, not like there's not like books and stuff like that out there, but it's not like literally on my timeline, just like I'm trying to see other things and I see like this amazing poem and I'm like, geez, I'm never gonna write anything like that, and now I'm crying looking at my phone. Like I just, that happens a lot, but like whatever. I don't know. I let those things get in my way and I shouldn't, but writing.
I'll just throw it out there that a lot of people don't. I think when they see poems and stuff like that they're like, oh, someone just vomited that out naturally. And that was no. I'm just saying the first thing they just naturally came up with it. I would say that never happens, ever. People will sit there, and it always, because I used to think someone thought of a poem, that's a good poem. And then we back in high school, we watched the process when they had a poet come in and do it, and they just sat there and just agonized over every word. And I mean, for a long time, I was like, holy cow, the amount of work that went specifically into poems, just short ones. I was like, man, I mean...
But I mean, I get that. There's so
Right.
many emotions that I feel that there's no word that accurately depicts the layers and the complexity of the emotion that I'm trying to convey. And so I understand the poet in that way. Like there is...
Make it up.
Yeah, make up.
And I make up a
you
lot
do.
of words.
You make up a lot of words.
But they work.
But
Yes.
they work.
So just keep,
Exactly.
Dr. Seuss
Just
made
keep
up
doing
more
that.
nonsense than that.
That'll be my
Sure.
style. It's like you just gotta... You cannot find this word in any dictionary, but you got to use context clues
Yeah.
to try and figure out what I'm saying. Honestly, that could be
could
an
work.
interesting
For a
kind of
poetry, that
concept.
could
Really, really good book
Might
idea.
have to start doing that. I don't know. Now I just had to speak this out loud. Thanks, guys.
Manifesting.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back.
Hey. Full circle.
Yep. Oh, okay. Addison, what do you got?
If I didn't have my phone, I would not be able to go anywhere because I wouldn't be able to get anywhere.
Fair enough.
But
You could stand up and look at the stars.
I could get to probably 3 places: the grocery store, my parents' house, and
The place where you watch the news.
yes. That is true.
How long would we have sat here waiting for her to come up with that?
I was right.
Listen.
I mean, I was
Okay.
waiting for you.
But in all honesty, I'd probably do some of the same outlets: reading, writing, painting, walking outside, just kind of enjoying the simple things in life. Baking.
You're already a big painter, aren't you? Though?
Yes.
Painting, you already do.
I do. I just don't assume I have the time because I'm always on my phone or like watching TV. So if I didn't have those things, I would finally turn to that outlet, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What kind of painting do you do? What do you do? Like cubism or just real life or what?
I think Picasso, but both ears.
Wait.
Wasn't that Van Gogh?
That was Van Gogh.
That two little wings.
So easy to imagine Picasso with 2 ears.
I was like, I was seeing the disjointed face of Picasso. I was like, he had no ears. Just like,
She painted our logo once for us.
I
which is
did.
cool.
Grayson
Very
has a
cool.
painting of it.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
think maybe
Okay.
still.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, he still has it.
Oh, it's still life.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've got a
Yeah.
photo of a cheetah that she painted for me.
I did. And
And an awesome rendition of, I would say, a Picasso.
yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
had a
Both
very,
I really have
both
no
ears.
idea what that means. Though.
From
From It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes.
There was a photo that was very, very, Picasso-esque.
Picasso.
It was for a themed bathroom. It was very nice. It was all Ongo Gabloki.
I don't know what the theme was because it was like a box with a little red man in it.
Yeah, it's very abstract.
Brady's
Bree won't let me
mind.
hang it up.
Nice.
So if that gets you in the mood to use the bathroom, I don't know what does.
It was a good bathroom.
Yeah.
Sound of running water.
Oh yeah. You give me a thought, I'll paint it out for you. That's what I got.
What was the question?
All right, your phone. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. You don't have a phone
I
for
know.
a week.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
What are you doing? And how much free time do you end up having?
I've been kind of like weaning myself off of some of the things on my phone. Actually, I took a couple of social media sites off of my phone specifically, so knowing that I have to be on them during work, so now I'm only on them during work, and so I'm weaning myself off of some of them, and finding it. Yeah, I mean, I will sit there. I will write music in my head. And so it may look like I'm not doing it. I'm just sitting in the living room, not falling asleep. But I know I could fall asleep if it's a slow song. I'm writing. Yeah, I'll fall asleep. But I'd probably mess around with the guitar more. I would like to do more stuff in making in the shop, like
Woodwork.
woodworking things, just making furniture, whatever, or just nonsensical things. My wife and I, last few years, we made things for our grandson for Christmas. We always pick something and we made, and this year we did not, and I missed it. And so I would do stuff like that. Like we made a really nice checkerboard one year. We made a little old-fashioned candy machine where you had the jar on the top and you pulled out
that's
the
cool.
thing. So
That's so cool.
yeah, and things like that, and made you the little
Yeah, I think Brady's played that. We have that ring toss.
the ring toss game.
shot game where you
Yeah.
pass a shot down.
Yes, yes.
So those kind of things, just
Yeah.
simple little fun things to just take up they occupy your mind and your hands, and so I think we're all talking about creating something, and that's I think it wouldn't just be dead time.
Maybe we learn a lesson. Anyway, Kahm. We're on our
Here
phone.
comes a lesson.
There comes Professor Kahm.
Yeah. No, I would like to say that I would probably get more stuff done around the house. Got a garage to clean out, got a basement to clean up, sort this, do that, spring cleaning type stuff. But I'd really probably just end up playing more video games on a TV console
There it is.
instead of on my phone.
Nice.
But I would try to shy away from that as much as possible.
You might get bored of games after a while, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I have a Nintendo
64.
regular,
Oh wow.
little
What's
tiny.
that mean anymore?
It's the original, the 8-bit Nintendo.
Okay, yeah.
But it's also it's got a little card in it, so I put 600 games on it. So it's got all the games that ever existed for Nintendo on it.
That's a good time.
So kind of an endless supply of awesome. Yeah.
Never escaping that.
Yeah.
Right?
What would Carla want you to do?
She'd probably want me to play Tetris with her.
Huh?
Oh.
Is
Because
that a two-person game?
It is on the version that I have on my Nintendo.
Can you defend?
That's awesome.
If there's someone's bringing down, can you like block
You're in
them?
the same quadrant together, working together. Imagine this as a test of your marriage.
That's no
really
You're
is.
playing Tetris together
Yeah,
in
no.
the same
I
quadrant.
think people need to do that before they get married and
Dude.
see if they can pass Tetris together.
It's a
Oh.
Tetrisment.
They should do that
Tetrisment
during
to your
weddings.
marriage.
That'd be so
That would
such a
be
cool
good.
addition to weddings.
Yeah.
Like you have to play that and pass.
If you don't get to level 5,
Yeah.
sorry,
Failed.
we object.
yeah,
Wow.
everyone just
Yeah.
leaves.
There you go.
Oh, boo! Bad wedding.
You guys suck at video games. Get out of here.
Perfect. And I believe that's side B.